AI is moving fast. So fast, it's hard to keep up. In fact, in ServiceNow's latest AI Maturity Index, scores dipped 20% from last year. But that's okay, because AI isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. You may be behind today, but tomorrow you could be a pace setter. Dive into ServiceNow's AI Maturity Index and see how you can innovate as fast as your ambitions. Visit servicenow.com/AI maturity.
Mic check. 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Hi.
Hello, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
I love that you're wonderful.
I love to lie. Welcome to a new episode of Don't Blame Me, a show where you ask us, you call in, you write in, you fill out a form where you're seeking advice on a situation.
And what do? We give you amazing, life-changing advice. We help you out like the good people that we are, the selfless people that we are. Can you actually wink? As if you couldn't get any fucking cooler. Join our Patreon.
It's such a struggle.
Well, I can't. That's the best I can do.
That was fine.
Well, I have to move my nose, my mouth, like everything.
Think about blinking, but just do it with one eye.
If I do that, then I raise the other eyebrow.
Blink. Just keep blinking slow. And then just do it with one eye.
Join our Patreon. You can watch the video version. See how much I am just absolutely killing it. There are some things that I cannot do. I cannot, like, physiologically. I cannot twerk. I cannot wink. And I cannot jump.
I don't know if twerking is really physiological as opposed to physical.
Oh, sorry. What's physiological mean?
Isn't
it about your butt? What does it mean?
Yeah. You were on it. Keep going.
But I've seen people with no ass twerk. For me, I think it's a lower back issue.
That's the thing. That's a physical thing. Physiologically is like the makeup of your body. So you had started to say it. So with people with no ass can do it because they can physically do it.
Oh, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My problem is that of the physical. And the same thing, like I have long legs. For some reason, I cannot use them to jump high. You know?
You could train them to.
Sure. Melvin did try for like a long while and he was confounded. Like he was so confused and could not figure out how to get me to be able to jump.
You gotta get on the track with me.
Yeah. Or throw me on a trampoline. That's my issue. Like, I think maybe
it's not going to strengthen, unless you're using a small trampoline, a big trampoline isn't going to strengthen your legs enough.
I was going to say, I wonder if my just like loving to be on a trampoline, then I was like, well, if I can't jump this high on the ground, my body was like, no, save that for the tramp. Put it all on the tramp.
You can't be like my new sorority sister, Gabby Thomas.
Oh, did she just join?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to her.
I've been making fun of her, like, for fun. Like,
out of love.
She has a burner page where she's trying to learn how to dance. And
be specific about what how did it start?
There's been a couple. She's tried to Dougie. She's tried to, I forgot what the other one was. But, I would lightly make fun of her, and then she would comment, like banter back and forth. So we had a back and forth going, and then I responded to an old one. Now, welcome to the sisterhood. She hasn't said anything, but I did it.
Wait, so she responded to your prior?
Yeah, like we would go
What did
back
she
and
say?
forth on like for instance, on one of them, I had said like, "How are you going backwards and learning to Dougie?"
Mm.
And then on the next one, she was doing better, and I said, "Oh, I take back what I said on the other one." And then she like responded to that one like, "Good, thank you."
I love it. I have to say though, like of all the things to learn how to do, the Dougie is not a bad one because like I didn't know until TikTok that like some people have different interpretations of what a Dougie is.
And
And like
it's all the same base move. It's
Totally.
just the flavor that you add to it.
yeah. And you know, I might still love when I guess maybe Gabby's love to Dougie.
Yeah. Some people said it's still not as bad as the other Gabbies.
The other Gabby, I think she faced a lot of scrutiny very early on because other Gabby was learning how to Dougie on Maine. And that was like, you being subjected to a lot of that. It was literally learning how to Dougie on NBC.
Yeah. While the Dougie was like an actual, like it was still in its
Trending.
heyday, not post everything.
Yeah,
Post
there's a lot of
Douglas,
eyes.
not post Douglas.
Yeah. We were early. We were in the Doug era.
But why that woman asked her to do it, I still don't know. It felt racially motivated to me.
I'm like, is there like something that I missed to start? Like, was this like a team conversation?
I was like, maybe because her last name is Douglas.
Oh. Or maybe just because it was like the big dance at the time.
But why would you just ask somebody that though?
No, like if they were,
especially
if the girls
a black
were,
girl.
No, I know what I mean, but I'm saying were the girls doing it?
No one was doing it. It was a post interview after she had finished an event.
That's weird.
She was by herself. No one else was around.
No, and they made her Dougie in her fucking leotard, and she wasn't.
It wasn't even Dougie, so I won't even say that that's what she was doing.
She tried, and it's crazy that we literally just watched someone fly through the air, stick it, land it, flip it, bop it, twist it, pull it, and then you're gonna have the audacity to ask them to do something that within 2 seconds you could tell from the setup, you could tell this isn't gonna go well.
But I doubt that woman even knew what it was.
No, she was probably like, yeah, I love it. Good job. Anyways, check out the video. Everybody learn to Dougie today after you listen to our podcast.
And I say all that. You could do it while you're listening. I say all that as someone who also cannot Dougie.
No, there's something like
I've hit it one time.
Yeah.
Like I felt it. Like I was like, ooh, I got it. And then
went
after
through your
that,
body.
it never again.
For some reason, it's one of those dances that like it shouldn't be fucking hard, but it is like patting your head and like rubbing your stomach at the same time.
Which I can perfectly
Me
do.
too. Yeah, but I don't know why. So, neurologists should study. Why does the Dougie confuse our brains so much? And that's actually, to be fair, that's why they have a whole song about teach me how to Dougie, because it's not just innate. You have to learn.
But it wasn't, the song itself was about the inception of Dougie. The Dougie didn't exist before it. The Dougie existed because of it.
They knew it was complex enough that they couldn't just release a song about the Dougie without being like, we have to give the kids an instructional step by step of how to Dougie. Anyways, welcome. We're going to give you advice. If you want to call in, leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. And you can also fill out the form that we have listed in our socials. You can send us a regular email. You can send us a DM. For all of them, you have to be 18 or over. And we do ask that you include all relevant information. You tell us exactly how old you are, but it is anonymous. So you can let us know your pronouns if you would like. If you want to create fake names, go for it, do it. But we need as much information as possible to give you the best advice that we can. So your age is important. Think about numbers. Numbers are important. So relationship, how long you've been together. What that person's relationship is to you, best friend, a lover. And if you feel like it's deeply relevant, you don't tell us how hot they are or what they look like or how attractive they are, why they get away with what they do, because they're a hot little villain, tell us who would play them in a movie. Because if you tell me that this hot villain is Barry Keoghan, I would say, no.
Look at you.
Look at me what?
I'm just saying, we're talking to that person.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually quoting Renee Rapp.
Oh.
During her
yes.
Vogue interview, lie detector test. The lady had asked her something about was she sad when they broke up. And Renee just went, look at her.
Yeah, being like, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Him, I don't know if he'll ever recover from this.
She says something about men too, but who cares?
Exactly. Which is essentially what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shall we change some lives?
Let's do it, Megan. If I was next to you, I'd hold your hand as we walk into this journey together. You didn't like that?
No. I didn't. Felt vaguely coldly. I'm like not the kind I would want to join. It sounds like a cult where you don't make cut my hair. You know? And I have to wear like long skirts.
You can't cut it, but I'll cut it for you.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either. I don't like that either.
All right. First one. Hi, Meghan and Melisa. Or it actually says, hi, Eminem. I need your advice on how to best behave in this situation. My partner, 27, he, him, and I, 28, she, her, 1 year ago decided we like to get married in September 2026. And since he's now officially proposed with a ring, we're close to booking a venue. We've started telling people close to us. There are a few friends of mine, or more like people whom I used to be close friends with, but due to life and distance have grown apart from over the years, who have been texting me today because it's my birthday and I've been wondering if I should tell them I'm engaged, even though I'm not sure if I will be inviting them to my wedding. It feels kind of weird not telling them, but is it rude if I tell them and then don't invite them? Doing a public social media post could sort of solve this issue, but it doesn't feel right for us. Also, because I'm applying for a J1 visa in the US for my job, and my social media has to be public due to the latest rules, and it just feels icky to me. What is the best thing to do in this situation? Thank you for any advice you can give. I did not know that was a thing.
No. When did you get engaged? Because I'll be real with you. I think it's a little bit weirder if you, like, your birthday's, you sent this in July. So your birthday is in July. If you got engaged in, like, May, I don't think if they're the people you initially notified, then I don't think that you should tell them now where it's like, oh, my birthday. Speaking of another thing about me, I am also engaged. Like, you just don't need to do it.
I just don't think there needs to be any sort of announcement.
No, like, if you're not someone to put it on socials.
Right. If they weren't someone that wasn't in your initial, hey, we're engaged, then it doesn't matter at this point.
And especially if you're like not really sure you're even going to invite them to the wedding, like it is weird. Like that would be weird. If they ask like, oh, how's so-and-so? Like if someone who didn't have social media asked me, like my psychiatrist, she probably has social media. She doesn't follow me, you know.
As she shouldn't.
Exactly. And she like had asked me before, like, oh, how's Mott's? Like, and I was like, how's your partner? I was like, oh, you're good. We like got engaged. I'm like, oh, exciting. That's great. Like, that's like a level of like, if someone asks you how
you talk to her.
This was after we got engaged. I'm saying like that was like what, probably months after we got engaged.
Like you just talked to her.
No, the confusion's fair because I did just talk to her, but like not about this.
Okay, I was gonna say, Megan, it's been years. This actually is weird. That
I'd be concerned about her eyesight
be weird
because she could see a ring on my finger the whole time. So I think that like if it's someone asks or like a family member or, you know, you run into someone you haven't seen, it's like, oh, how's so-and-so? Like, oh, are you still with that person? You could say, oh, yeah, we actually got engaged. But bringing it up without someone else, like asking about your partner or your relationship, I think in general, like if someone's like, oh, like, is anything, like, what's new with you? And if getting engaged, like, if that's like a big deal for for you, you can bring it up, but like, I will say, like, I have never been, well, actually, to be fair, to circle it back, I am a little confused. You have friends who are close enough to text you on your birthday who you don't know you're engaged, and or you wouldn't sure if you're inviting them to a wedding. Like,
I have people that like I've been friends with in the past that we're not particularly close right now, but like I know it's their birthday and I'll text them and tell them happy birthday, but they don't know what is going on in my life from day to day.
Yeah,
I think it's those friends, those just like pop-in friends that don't know that you're engaged because they don't know the day to day.
Yeah, like, do you know that those people, if those people are engaged, have you been invited to their weddings? Because like, I do think if you've been invited to one of those people's weddings, like, and it was like somewhat recent in the last couple of years, I do think like, you know, if you don't tell them, some people who might not get invited to a wedding and not find out that you got engaged, that might change how they feel about a friendship. And then that has to be fine with you.
Right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that is like fine with that. But if it's worrying about like, oh, should I feel awkward? Should I tell all of that? If you are concerned about how it comes across to people, the biggest thing that if it's going to be bad, it's going to be that you didn't invite them to your wedding. So like, if that's already, you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do that. I don't think anything else of the in between of like telling them we got engaged or like bringing it up or whatever. Like, if they're going to be offended that you didn't tell them that you got engaged, they're really going to be offended you didn't invite them to your wedding. So like, to me, I'm like, those are not opinions to worry about point blank, because you're already like, we're not close enough for you to come to my wedding. So why do we care if they feel offended X, Y, and Z? Because ultimately the biggest thing they'll be offended by is not getting invited to the wedding, which doesn't matter because you're not that close.
Why do we care is the perfect way to put this. Why do you care, writer? Why do you care? If they're not close enough for any of this, if they don't know, especially you've been engaged for 2 months, why do we care? And
I can't stress enough that it would be very weird on your birthday. That's also just to like unprompted be like, I'm also engaged.
Unless they're like, hey, how are you? What's new?
Exactly. But you don't
just offer up the information
because they haven't asked and you don't have it on social media. So I think we're reading a little too much into it.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into the next one. Is the state of the U.S. making you want to escape?
Yes. And you can take the first step and learn the language before you go. Who makes it easy, Melissa?
BAIW makes it easy.
We are so happy that we have a new sponsor. It is BAIW, and not to fangirl too hard. We begged BAIW. We said, BAIW, BAIW, we need you.
Our audience wants you and needs you and asked us, hey, who do you guys recommend for languages?
And we're happy to say, it's BAIW.
Not only do sometimes I want to escape, but I also want to stay here and talk to the people here on the ground, especially in our state of California. So I want to brush up and make my Spanish stronger. I took Spanish throughout school. I took Spanish and French, but I really, really need to strengthen my Spanish. What about you?
Spanish is the language that I grew up in California. So like that is like you said, like from the time that I could talk, like the names of different streets. It was so like ingrained, handcrafted by over 200 language experts. Yeah, they are voiced by, get ready, voiced by real native speakers.
Real people.
Oh, and they're built with science-backed cognitive tools like spaced repetition and interactive features to fit any learning style. I'm a big fan of BAIW games. This girl loves a game.
We both love games.
And like the sentence building stuff. So having it be in like a game format makes me feel, it doesn't make me feel like I'm learning. It doesn't make me feel like I'm being scolded in school. I'm just like learning something new, but I'm mostly playing a game.
We want you to learn another language. So we're teaming up with BAIW to give you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/don'tblameme.
Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/don'tblameme, spelled BABBEL.com/don'tblameme.
Babbel.com/don'tblameme.
Rules and restrictions may apply.
HelloFresh is going to help me enjoy my summer more because I will spend less time looking for groceries, trying to figure out like what I'm going to eat. It's just delivered straight to me, and it makes things so much easier so I can be outside basking in the sun.
Spending less time in the kitchen, more time eating delicious things, and having a great time, which is all what summer's about. This summer, HelloFresh has made it even easier to enjoy delicious, healthy, and homemade quality meals with their new ready-made meals. These heat-and-go HelloFresh meals are chef-crafted, flavorful dishes, ready in, guess how many minutes? Oh, it's just 3. So you can dig in and go do summer right.
My mouth is already watering looking at the Southwest-inspired chicken bowl and the stir-fried udon with pulled pork and veggies. There's also a creamy Alfredo truffle pasta and an Indian-inspired chicken paired with turmeric rice. Drool. These are all ready to eat after a quick spin in the microwave.
We love HelloFresh. We have sung their praises for so long. I have to give a shout out though. The Mushu pork lettuce wraps changed my life. Absolutely so good. I think it has to be one of my favorites I've ever had. Make your summer enjoyable and delicious by signing up for HelloFresh at hellofresh.com/blameme10fm and get 10 free meals with a free item for life.
That's hellofresh.com/blameme10fm for 10 free meals and a free item in every box.
HelloFresh.com/blameme10fm. 1 per box with an active subscription. Free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
It can be overwhelming to manage a business, especially when you're first starting out. Your to-do list just keeps growing every day with new tasks, and that list can easily begin to overrun your life. Finding the right tool not only helps you out, but can simplify problems you haven't even encountered yet. And for millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify can help you easily build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. Shopify.com/realm.
And we're back.
Hi. Should we get into the next?
We shall.
Okay. Hi, Meghan and Melisa. This person is 29, she, her. Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I've been listening since the beginning and love everything you girls do. Thanks for being the woke sisters I needed for the last however many years. Are we reclaiming the term woke?
No.
Okay, because I will say I do get a little like, it's like snowflake. I'm like, ooh.
I don't even
love
care
a
about
snowflake.
snowflake. Yeah.
Well, I've reclaimed snowflake because I love the winter and I love snow in all of its flakes and forms.
I never liked woke to begin with, so because it got
the alternative is wild.
What happened was woke was a term used among the Black community, and then, like many things that happen in the Black community, it got stolen. And even when it was used by liberals, it still did not have the original meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Then the right wing co-opted it, and so then it's just been downhill. So
yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Anyways, you didn't mean it like that, person.
No, I know you didn't, but
yeah, I was just curious because I haven't heard it come from like a comrade in a very long time. The sisters I needed for the last however many years. My question revolves around my mom. She's always been one of my best friends. We butt heads sometimes, but generally we get along really well. When I turned 18 and went to college 2 hours away, I never moved back home. I stayed where I went to school and I love it here. I'm married and I've built my whole life here. My mom recently went through a big life change and decided to move closer to me. She now lives about 8 minutes down the road. I'm wondering if you have any advice on how I can keep our relationship good and healthy with this new close proximity. I've never lived in the same town as my mom since becoming an adult. I'm thrilled to have her here, and I think it'll be a really good change for her, but I'm worried if I don't set boundaries, it might become too much. I guess I don't even know what the boundaries I need to set are. We generally talk on the phone most days, and now that she's here, I've been trying to help her run errands or invite her to dinner if we can. It's just an adjustment since she's never been this close in my adult life. If any other listeners have gone through a similar change, I'd love to hear advice there too. You are, in fact, talking to two people
who left home.
Yes. And have not gone back.
Yeah. And also, there were things that could have made my life financially easier if I had allowed my parents to do them, but I didn't because I didn't want to end up in this situation.
Well, to be fair, you can use your boundaries. You've set very set very clear boundaries.
Mm-hmm. But so have my sisters, and it has not helped them who live 15 minutes from my mom.
Yeah. But you're close to your family.
I'm close to my family, but it's easier to be close when you're not physically there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I was physically there, then we would have issues. I can put this in the situation from when I was in college. Okay. Let's rewind. So when I was in college, I did live like 15 minutes from where, like, my college was 15 minutes from where my parents lived. Also, my mom worked at the school. So she thought that we were going to be like having lunches together, having dinner together, her just showing up to my dorm. And I had to put my foot down and say, no, that's not going to happen. Like, this is supposed to be my college experience. I don't want you around all the time. Also, when I moved off campus, initially she thought she was just going to be stopping by. No. Sometimes I'd pretend I wasn't even at home and she'd be knocking on the door.
Lights off, slither down from the couch on the floor.
Or the lights on and I just hear it knocking. I don't give a fuck. My car's out front. I don't give a fuck. And I think that you just have to just say, these are the boundaries. You can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Does she still stop at my sister's homes now? Yes. Does she get mad when they won't let them in? Yes. Or won't let her in? Yes. But guess what? They still put their foot down and she's not coming inside. So you just have to say, these are the boundaries. I don't want you over here all the time. And let it be. And sometimes her feelings will get hurt. But you also have to realize, like, if you need something, you can't just drop by there either and expect her to be at home. So you just have to put your foot down. Yeah,
I agree. I don't think you mentioned anything about having kids. Because I was going to say, I think that, like, setting strong boundaries is good, but just remember, like, you know, if you need last minute childcare, if you have kids, like that also, there is
That's something that my sisters will do too.
Yeah, there's a return on the boundary there. And I think it's going to be confusing because, like, as like a kid and a teenager, your parents have no boundaries with you. You have a lot of, your parents have no boundaries with you. You'll try and have boundaries with your parents. Like, it's like they are there to take care of you, to serve you. Like, that's what it's about. But when you are an adult, and if you decide to set those boundaries, they get to do it also. Like, and, you know, if it's like, oh, well, you know, they love their grandkid, whatever it is, like, there's just an aspect of that there. I think, and I have zero personal experience with this, so, like, really take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But I do think in general, it's easier to set boundaries from the start than to misrepresent how a relationship's going to go and then pull back from it. It makes people feel like, you know, they're getting the rug pulled out from underneath them. And I know it can be like, well, you know, if she doesn't know anybody in this area yet, I want to, like, help her get settled and do all of that. In general, if you set that expectation, that's kind of what people think that's going to happen moving forward. And it doesn't really help that person settle into that new place because they're just their association of this place is still just you, not their life there individually, making their own friends, making their own relationships and all of that. So I think however you want the relationship to go in 5 years is how you should also start it now in the early stages of moving versus, you know, you can help her, you know, move in, do like all of those kinds of things. But if you're like, I don't want to have dinner, ideally I want to have dinner once a month, but like, let's go from once a week and then like taper down to once a month, start with once a month.
Yeah.
Or start with once a week. But I'm also a believer in like, you didn't make your mom move to where you are. If that was a right choice for her, you're allowed to factor into it, but she can't put that responsibility on you.
But if
That
you
it's like,
encourage her to move, then
totally. But then I think like you have to be honest with yourself and with her, because sometimes like it feels like, oh, they made this choice, but like I don't feel like I had a heavy hand in it. But then it's like, you know, if you ask a parent, like, would you have moved here if I didn't live here? It's like, no. And it's like, oh, okay. So then I do now kind of feel like maybe that was a little bit the convenience of having having your parent close to you there without recognizing that like that there's a sacrifice that they might be making for that. But it sounds like in general, I think when you want to maintain a good relationship, that wanting to do that is kind of half the work. Like, and being conscious about that, you don't ever really like accidentally like totally screw someone over because when you're conscious about the feelings and not fucking the relationship up. So I think that as long as you're conscious of it, which you are, I think you'll have good communication and set good boundaries and set strong boundaries from the start.
good luck.
Good luck.
When it comes to makeup, I'm a less is more kind of person. I wish I had the patience to do a full face all the time, but since that's just how I am, I always make sure that the few products I am using are the best quality. And my go-to place to find those holy grails is Thrive Causemetics. Thrive Causemetics makes certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free products that you can depend on for everything from simple daily wear to show-stopping self-expression. And it's all made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high-performance and trademarked formulas, and uncompromising standards. And it's beauty that gives back. For every product purchased, Thrive Causemetics makes a donation towards 8 major causes, including those impacted by cancer, homelessness, and social justice organizations. It feels good knowing that I can support a company dedicated to giving back to causes that matter to me. And it doesn't hurt that I'm a huge fan of their Liquid Lash Extensions mascara. It comes in 5 shades that last all day without clumping, smudging, or flaking. I really love that it looks like lash extensions, but you don't have to deal with the damaging glue or salon prices. Plus, at the end of the day, it slides right off with warm water and a washcloth. No soap required. So there's no wonder why it has over 40,000 5-star reviews, including mine. Try your new trusty favorites with an exclusive set for our listeners. New customers can get the Liquid Lash Extensions mascara and a mini-sized brilliant eye brightener at a special set price with free shipping, available at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. Or save more with 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/thrive for 20% off your first order.
My name is Troy LaValle, and I'm the host of the Glass Cannon Podcast. This is a podcast where my friends and I sit around and play role-playing games and record it. Through improvisation, using comedy and drama, we take the rules of whatever game we're playing and we turn it into appointment television. It truly is infectious fun. We travel the whole country playing rock clubs, turning games like this into a spectator sport. So please, check it out, the Glass Cannon Podcast. If you want some joy in your life, give it a listen.
Look, there are a lot of celebrity interview podcasts out there, but there's only one, Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and yeah, I'm the host of the show, so I'm a little biased, but truly, Happy, Sad, Confused is the place for nerdy and intimate conversations with all your favorite actors and filmmakers. From Andrew Garfield and Scarlett Johansson to Christopher Nolan. Casting what-ifs, backstage stories, and much more. Listen to Happy, Sad, Confused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're back from the break and we're going to get into a Don't Blame Them. Don't Blame Them is where one of our listeners will call in or write in with their own advice pertaining to a call we had on a prior episode. So they might have personal experience, like that last caller had written in and asked if anybody else had experience with it. This is where you can, phone a friend that you don't even know is your friend yet. Oh, so sweet. Look at me making friendship connections for all of you.
Maybe you should have a friendship reality show. It's like a dating show, but it's just to find friends. And it's called I Am Here to Make Friends.
I actually am here to make friends. No, yeah, Friendship Island.
This is Don't Blame Them for the episode Friends Want Me to Stay with My Toxic Ex. I thought your advice about what to do was great, but wanted to address wanting a therapist, but tired of going through trauma over and over. As a psychologist, my advice is don't talk about the trauma until you know it is the right therapist. See how you gel with them. Talk about a current problem, like a breakup. Say you know there are things you will want to talk about, but aren't ready yet. If they push you to talk about it early, you know they aren't right. I also always advise people if you can have a first meeting with 5 different therapists, then you won't settle for a not awful, but will get a feel for what different therapists can be like and be able to get a sense of who you like best and set up a second session with them. And be honest, you are doing this. Again, a good therapist won't care. And if they do, you know it is a no.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. Interviewing therapists, I think the same thing of like when you have the option to, similar with like not going with like the first, for healthcare. If you can like shop around for like a good doctor or whatever, when you have the capacity to do so, it can be great. And it can also just make you feel like you have a little bit more agency in it and you don't get defeated as fast. Because those like phone things, it's like quick on the phone, real quick, recap, like go over everything. It's free. Figure out if you're a vibe. Don't move on quick. As opposed to getting invested. It's kind of like going on dates. Like, like sometimes it's good to like not just put all of your eggs in one basket with one person you match on a dating app with, and you talk and talk and talk and talk for like months before you go on on a date, versus putting feelers out for like 5 people who you think you get along with, doing like a quick coffee date and not getting too invested in one.
It's an interview process. They're working for you. You're hiring them for a job for you. So I think going in with like set questions and a set vibe help with that.
I think so too.
It's ticklish business any way you look at it. Come on, we'll stick together.
Love movies? Love classic movies? So do we. Ticklish Business is the podcast where classic film is discussed in modern times. Hosted by me, film journalist Kristen Lopez, and my co-host, author Emily Edwards, we dive into the golden age of cinema with fun, heart, and serious expertise. As published film historians and lifelong classic movie buffs, we bring insider insights, deep research, and lively debates with a variety of special guests, ranging from celebrities like Holly Madison to TCM luminaries Dave Karger and Eddie Muller, and even family members of old Hollywood legends. Subscribe now to Ticklish Business on your favorite podcast app, and let's talk about old Hollywood today.
Are you looking for a movie review show where the critic is at the top of his or her game, meticulously breaking down and explaining exactly why a film does or does not work? Well, good luck with the search, because we're having fun here on Adam Does Movies. Each and every week, I hit the big blockbusters, I cover the streamers, and I even toss in some movie news for fun. Check out the show on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and hopefully, we can do movies together. Hot.
How does love work exactly? What makes something funny? How does noise affect your health? These are just a sample of the fascinating topics we discuss on my podcast, Something You Should Know. We bring you leading experts on topics important to you, things you can use in your life and that will fascinate you. We deliver 3 episodes a week and have over 1,000 episodes available to listen. So get listening to Something You Should Know wherever you get your podcasts.
Shall we get into the update?
Let's do it.
This person is 27, she, her. This is an update for the episode titled, Don't Blame Me, Friends Want Me to Stay. Oh, Friends Want Me to Stay, same episode. Friends Want Me to Stay with My Toxic Ex. I was the write-in about eloping this year. So this person they were feeling pressure, or they were confident in their decision to elope, but outside things like their friends were also getting married and planning weddings, and being like, should I feel like I don't necessarily want to have a wedding, but I'm feeling like I should feel like I want to do that. Am I missing out? Am I going to regret this? Am I having a little bit of wedding FOMO, even though I don't want to have a wedding? Megan asked if I'm on TikTok, and I'm not. Really, it's coming from my friends because they had weddings and my fiance and I are not, in the way that my friends are. For context, I work in the education world and he works as a physical therapist. Our friends have different financial situations and families helping them, whereas our families are not helping us. It's also hard to not dwell on conforming to what others are doing and at times don't express how I feel about the judgment I receive for eloping. Melissa mentioned how people who have had weddings and photographed some people, how they no longer have relationships with them. And my hairdresser even said the same thing. To wrap it up, my fiance and I are the ones who've been together the longest of our friend group. Yeah, this to me is you need friends who are not getting married, or you need friends who are already married, because like there is something that happens. It's like an infection of some sorts. Some might call it bridalitis. Like when you are getting married and you are a bride, you are told that you are like the most important person in the world, that this is like this big day, that it's your this is all about you. When in reality, like people have been doing this for a long time. Like you are not the first person to ever get married, any of that. But it like, in theory, for a lot of people, the ideal is like, this is the one time that you do it. And it's a lot of people view this as the one time they can be like selfish. One time they can do everything about them. And it's kind of hard to shut that off around other people, because those other people, you're so used to your wedding, the time of your wedding being all about you, that like other people's timelines and their wedding and all of that kind of stuff, like it just becomes like that. And it becomes, you've done this, so then everybody else needs to do the same thing. And again, like a lot of people planning weddings are like really fucking miserable. And in order to feel better about being miserable, they need other people to be miserable. Like, I really think that's like the biggest thing. Nobody I know who planned a wedding themselves has given me any sort of judgment. But the people who like, you know, mommy and daddy signed the check and they were still miserable the whole time, we're like, wait, you guys aren't gonna, no, we're not going to Portugal to have a wedding. Like, but most people are miserable and they want you to be miserable, as opposed that's easier for them to deal with than them having to deal with the fact that they're miserable.
And they're also not just miserable in the wedding process, they're also miserable in their relationship.
Yeah, because it brings up all that shit. Like,
it seems like they have to be on a timeline. And so they get married to the wrong person and they're miserable together, and they're miserable throughout their relationship. They're miserable throughout the wedding process, and they're miserable during their marriage. And those people will be divorced within 5 years.
It stresses them out and pisses them off to then see people who have been in relationships longer, who are happier and are also not rushing. They don't feel that pressure of a timeline. Like you're essentially holding up a mirror to people, and the wedding and bridal time is so self-indulgent that it, in general, I think if you are that self-indulgent, eventually it becomes full circle of you just hate yourself. Like you can't focus on yourself that much with entirely positivity. Like it becomes so nitpicky about your body, your clothes, the people, all of these things become like a reflection of you, and you start to hate yourself. And like it's a really, really negative, nasty feeling that people profit off of. And when you are not doing that same thing and you are like, I'm actually not going to subject myself to this because like this doesn't look fun. The only time, like I remember like telling people like, wait, you're not gonna have a wedding? And I was like, you just spent like an hour telling me about like how miserable you are planning a wedding and how horrible this is. And it's like, well, what? No, I don't really think I want to do that. And it's like, that's shocking because it never crossed their mind that that was an option. And like to value yourself, your happiness, your relationship, your well-being, all of that, to not have to participate in this like performance is really unsettling to some people, because like, not only do they not know it was an option, like they could have never chosen to do that because that's not, they don't have that security. So you need friends who are not in this life stage.
Or people that are actually happy.
That's what I mean. Like people who are not in like this pressure cooker of like a timeline of you're in a miserable relationship, a timeline, or...
Yeah, there could be people that are getting married, but they're just actually happy in their actual relationship. And they're not wanting to keep up or try to outdo the last person that was getting married. And what is outdoing? Showing off instead of like actually wanting to be with this person. I feel like having a happy, lasting relationship for as long as it lasts, but like as long as you're happy throughout it, like that's more successful than having a fancy wedding where you're just miserable.
100%. And like, I think it would be good for you to also just get out of the bridal and like wedding mindset, even though like you're not doing what they're doing. You're doing eloping in a small party. Like, you know, go rock climbing, join like a physical, like do something that like with people who are the commonality is not like we're going to sit and talk about all of our weddings like over brunch. Like get some perspective in like people who are, it can be people who are married, who are single, whatever it is, but just like step aside, like out of that bubble for a minute, because like you are not enjoying the bubble, but you're not stuck in the bubble. You can be a whole other, you could be like an entire human who also just happens to be getting married. And like, it doesn't have to be everything, but when your circle, everybody's at that timeline, it suddenly becomes about every conversation. And so to me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with some different people. I'm going to start a new hobby. I'm going to do something that has like nothing to do with this world, just to put me back into giving me some better perspective.
Mm-hmm. So good luck. I hope that everything turns out the way that you want. Ignore people that aren't happy for you and what you're doing, because I think that's a true testament too of like an actual friendship. Because if people aren't happy for you and the way that you're moving through your relationship, either your man sucks or which, you know,
sometimes it happens.
It happens. But in this case, it seems like more it's like it may, if friends are coming to you with negativity, then they aren't your actual friends.
Yeah.
They should be happy for the way that you're wanting to get married.
Yeah. None of my good friends have like had anything to say about it. And like to the point where like even like my in-laws, like my sister-in-law, like one day was like, are you guys gonna get married eventually? I was like, oh yeah. Like to the point where like Mats and I forget that because it is like there's zero pressure. There's none of that. There's like, yeah, Meghan and Mats are going sapphire mining for her birthday because that's more important. And like nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like if people cared, I'd be a little bit like, why? And I think it's good to reflect on that like, why would these people care?
Mm-hmm. Why are you judging?
That's what it is. Because it's not care, it's judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you don't care, you're judging me. Why are you judging me? And honestly, I think less of you for judging me. I'm not feeling judgment. I don't think I should be judged. I think you're weird for judging me.
Yep. All right. That's the end of our episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining us. Please write in with or call in with your predicaments that are going on in your life. If it is something that we have done recently, please just go back and listen to the episode, because if your story is very similar to somebody else's, our advice is not going to change.
Yeah.
Also, please proofread what you're sending through. Just, put it in any type of word processor, like a Word or even in Notes. And you can see the little squigglies that come up underneath. Just click through, read, click through. It's helpful. Just make it easier for all of us, please.
Yeah. The best thing, I don't know if you already said this, but reading something that you wrote out loud, that really helps you with, is this conveying across what I'm getting? Am I running out of breath as here?
Is this even saying what I want it to say?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not sure, it might be easier to call in for you or use a voice memo.
Yep.
Anything else, Megan? Any house cleaning?
No, I found my passport. That's it.
I'm so excited for you, because what if you didn't know?
Yeah. And then I made Mats. I was like, Mats, where's yours? He was like, in my backpack. And I was like, that you bring with you every day, everywhere? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, bad idea.
Why does he always have his passport on him?
Because he just kept it in his backpack and like never took it out. And I was like, that's a bad idea. And so I took both of ours and I put them both somewhere where I know where they are. I don't want to rob my passport. It's like it's where I keep it usually.
Okay.
And that's what
I'm just making sure, because remember that gift card that you put somewhere that you for sure knew where that was?
Literally vlogged about it. No, the issue is I know where it was, but then at one point Moms was like, why is it actually, why am I blaming him? I think I was like, why is it here? Like, this is not a logical place. I should put this somewhere that makes logically more sense. To this day, I have no idea where that place is. That illogical, stupid fucking place that I put it inside the cookbook, I know that's the only place I can remember. And I'm like, I should have never fucking left it from there. Like, this was my learning lesson of like, I need to stop trying to implement like neurotypical systems of organization to my brain, because that's not how my brain works. That's why when I think of Arrival, I think of Redhead Alien, the movie. Like, you know what I mean? So like, okay, work with your
and
brain.
When I think of Redheaded Alien, I just think of the movie Alien because...
Yes, so does Mods. And that's why both of you were confused. And that's why I need to keep my gift cards.
I've never seen Arrival either, so...
Neither have I.
Okay. Yeah. But if you don't know this, traveling now, you have to have a real ID. Domestic or not.
Yeah. So...
You should still go get it.
That's my plan.
Okay.
That's it. We hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to watch the Patreon. Join the Patreon. Watch the video versions. Do live streams there twice a month. It is so fun. You get to know people, make some new friends, and it's a grand old time. Would you like to tell them about our other shows?
I would, Megan. Tomorrow will be Fisting Friday. On Monday, we'll have But Am I Wrong? Tuesday is See You Next Tuesday, where we vote on things that were on But Am I Wrong? Wednesday, you're going to listen to my series on Pocket FM called Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha. Thursday, you're going to be right back here for Don't Blame Me. All right.
We hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Oh, hey there, it's a promo for a podcast. Great! Exactly what you want to hear when you're settling down to listen to the podcast you actually want to listen to. Well, give me just a few seconds and then you can go listen to whatever it is you're listening to, your true crime podcast hosted by former child actors or reality stars, whatever it is. My name is Troy LaValle and I'm the host of the Glass Cannon Podcast. This is a podcast where my friends and I sit around and play role-playing games and record it. Through improvisation, using comedy and drama, we take the rules of whatever game we're playing and we turn it into appointment television. That's the best way I can explain it. It truly is infectious fun. We travel the whole country playing rock clubs, turning games like this into a spectator sport. So please, check it out, the Glass Cannon Podcast. If you want some joy in your life, give it a listen.
Are you looking for a movie review show where the critic is at the top of his or her game, meticulously breaking down and explaining exactly why a film does or does not work? Well, good luck with the search, because we're having fun here on Adam Does Movies. I talk to you like we just got done seeing a movie together, giving you the pros and cons, and I'm digging in the trenches, in the mud and muck, on streaming services, telling you which films are worth your time. Each and every week, I hit the big blockbusters, I cover the streamers, and I even toss in some movie news for fun. Because this show is Adam Does Movies. I'm obviously Adam, I probably should have led with that, but perhaps I have led you to check out the show on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and hopefully, we can do movies together. Hot.
In humanity's search for other worlds, we found something unexpected.
It's a massive collection of tiny pocket realities, and each one is a story.
So we can actually transcend our usual 4 dimensions of space and time to go physically into these stories?
Yes, using the Muse pod.
But when we explored those stories, things didn't go as planned.
Mr. Darcy? That horrid man?
I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
None of us have been the same since Beth died.
What happens when classic stories go wrong? I go in to fix them.
Ah, humbug.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
For the love of God, Montfessor!
Subscribe and listen to Muse, the latest audio drama from Dayton Writers Movement and Realm.
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome.